Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It is this guy, me, Ian, here in what is another beautiful Beijing day. And it's early morning, having a nice casual walk around. But I want to talk to you about something close to your heart if you're in America, maybe Europe, and also here in China. So this is a short video about the tipping culture here in China versus the tipping culture in America, you know, adding something to the bill. I will come back to the amount of tips and the tipping culture here in China. I'll come back to that in a minute, but let me tell you why I'm making this video. I was watching a YouTube video from a guy called Andre Jick, I think that's his name, who's a finance YouTube vlogger. He's a good vlogger on finance, excellent, but he does often have a bug up his ass about China, and he can be one of these guys that's always going on about China going bust and blah, 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 whatever. Anyway, you know me, I take in a lot of different views from a lot of various sources so I can stay informed. That way, I get information. So that's why I watch guys like him. Anyway, I watched his latest video about the tipping culture in America, and I was shocked at some of the things he shared. Like, for instance, the federal minimum wage for tip workers is not included in the federal minimum wage, and that's by law. So tipped employees are allowed to be paid below the minimum wage. So listen to this, this is unbelievable. At the moment, the federal minimum wage for tipped workers in America is $2.13. That for me is mind-blowing, and I can see why there is so much pressure to get tips, because if I was an employee, then I would be desperate for tips just so I could eat, clothe myself, look after my family, maybe put some sort of roof over my head. And trust me, I have worked for many years in the service industries, and I can tell you this, it is the hardest job you will ever do in your life. And I think people in that industry deserve to be tipped, but I also think they deserve a better wage deal. I mean, don't you think that? The problem that Andre goes on to talk about in his video is that the tip culture is getting out of control, with high tips being requested and in some cases being coerced through some dubious means, and he explains in the video. These days in America, a 20% tip is considered a low tip. So if you pay 20% or below, then you're considered to be mean with your money. And you're also expected to tip for just about everything. And I understand that tipping is a cultural thing and it has a long history, but I have to agree with Andre on this one. It does look like it is getting out of control. Now let me tell you about the tipping here in China and the tipping culture. Here in China, tipping is very hard to do. It's not in the culture. And when I try to do it, I get some quizzical looks for the person I'm trying to tip. For instance, I have a snazzy new haircut, a bit shorter than I expected. But when I tried to tip my barber, he wasn't having it until I was insistent. And even then, I could sense he was confused and a little bit embarrassed. So it's very rare that you have to tip in China. I mean, you do get a little bit of tip included in the bill, maybe in an expensive restaurant or in a taxi app. You have the facility to add a tip, like a DD or something, which is like an Uber, but it's just not expected. So there you go, a quick video today just to summarise. In America, tipping is getting out of control. You're expected to tip around 25% or more. You tip for everything. In China, it's virtually non-existent. There you go, a comparison. So let me know what you think in the comments below, and also subscribe somewhere. Meanwhile, this is me, Ian, in China, Beijing. As always, saying peace out, take care of yourself, take care of your family and your community, and I'll catch you in the next video. It's a nice morning, I'm off for a walk.
I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago. but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I've changed for the better this time.